Hello Buttercup, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a May Bookish Q&A, and I am so happy to see that there are 3 public questions that I'm going to start out with those, and then some random overarching questions that were sent to me privately. But let's just jump right in for today with first up Thomas's question on YouTube. And I'm going to put the picture right here for all 3 of them. Now, this sounds like a small press or like a publishing house that trad publishers do, if I'm reading that correctly. Thomas, if I'm not, please comment down below so I can get it answered properly. But it sounds like small press, traditionally published publishing houses in a way. So I wouldn't be interested personally. I get to choose the people that I want to work with. That includes editors and book cover or promotional pictures. That just my book cover artist does that. So I chose them. Someone didn't choose them for me. Also, I decided on my own to join Brian Cohen's ad school. I pay for all those, that's my decision, and I don't really want any input from random people I don't know. Or like if it's a group that you can only use this particular editor or this particular book cover artist, that's not going to work out. There are book cover artists like my cover artist who is mainly fantasy, though she does some other stuff as well, but she does mainly fantasy. I would not suggest her for a nonfiction book cover. That's just not how that works. And it's the same for my editor. She does a lot of other stuff, but she's mainly fantasy. So I'm not going to really suggest her other than like giving someone an email and see how she feels about that, to someone that writes erotica. Those are completely different genres, and even when says, oh, I can do everything, I'm going to be wary because no, you cannot. I certainly can't do everything, so I'm not gonna be interested in someone who says that they can, or that they're trying to because they've been hired on by a small press or something like that. Traditionally published houses and even, you know, good small presses will have multiple editors and multiple cover artists and multiple marketing planners. I'm just gonna say planners because I can't think of the word. Multiple people that do marketing for the different genres. So just off the bat, if it's all in one and we're trying to come together with different genres, it's not really gonna work. Now, if it's the same genre and we're still doing the same thing, no, because I decided to keep my copyrights and I want to decide on what I choose and who I hire. And if I join a ad school or a Facebook ad class or something like that, I would like to choose my own person and not have it based on who's in the group and who's hired by the head person in the group. That just sounds a little too much for me. I don't really want to rely on other people's decisions, and that's why trad was not for me and probably never will be. That's why I went into self-publishing, because I do it all myself. And does that mean that I can't make excuses for like hiring not so great people? Yes, that's happened before, but every small business does that, and what you need to take away from that is what you've learned, and don't make the same mistakes, or else, well, then that's just silly and you're wasting time, money, energy, tears, caffeine. Very important. Don't waste the caffeine, okay? Don't do it. The second question, okay, who's like the best book boyfriend, from Emma? That's tough. Probably Mr. Darcy or Hal from Hal's Moving Castle, and I'm also kind of stuck with Kartik from the Gemmett Doyle trilogy because that was my first crush book boyfriend. But that was a while ago that I read those books. The most recent would be Hal and Mr. Darcy. Also, those two have movies, so I get to see him, you know, like on the screen, so I think that's an extra layer of coolness. Okay, third public question is from Cobian. I'm picturing Fabian, Cobian. That's where the phonics are coming from. If not, then you can bother me in the book club. I'm sorry. So I don't know about defined my taste in reading because I read very widely, but the book series that got me into reading overall was the Del Toro Quest books from Emily Rada. It's middle grade, and I read that in middle school. I made my mom buy them for me. No regrets whatsoever. And now I just try out books that have a cool title, cover, solid blurb, not necessarily much to do with reviews because I know how weird they can be on Goodreads. And that's if I find them out by myself, but I also, now more than ever before, I'm getting recommendations from friends and family, and therefore I'm really paying more attention to that, especially the friends, where they know me after, you know, a few years of chatting, and then basically all of them are great recommendations so far, so I'm gonna ride that wave and see how long that's gonna go. And I'm really open to all genres. There are some that I'm not like huge fans of, like I don't really care that much about sci-fi, but if you're raving and ranting about it in a good way, I'm going to check it out at least. Give it a try. I always like to give stuff a try. If it's not for me, then you just move on. At least I just move on, and because I have such a big to be read shelf that it's not going to really upset me if one book or multiple books are not for me personally, because I have others that are waiting that are going to be for me. Okay, now this has been broad and I don't know if I've answered this, but the question that I've gotten a lot is why do I always wear sweaters or like hoodies? Because it's cold where I am. Though today I'm just in a t-shirt because it's hot. It's gotten a little hot. You can kind of tell the season, or like if it's cold or hot where I live, based on if I'm wearing a sweater, long sleeves, or a t-shirt. If you're gonna be that weird about it. And sometimes people are. So, you know, we're gonna move on to the next broad question, and that would be, what is your new pen name? Since I keep talking about it. It's Nicole Fox. That is not a secret. I'm setting everything up. I've finished the whole website, and both names are on my one website. Same for my Facebook page. And you can see, like, as a contributor, if you go to my urban fantasy novel under Nicole Fox, then the contributor to that, which is like the second row on Amazon, says Nicole Pierman. First name, main author, that's where you get the details, and where you get the sales page and all that stuff is under Nicole Fox. But I'm not hiding that, and there are people that need to use pen names for personal safety, or just they don't want people knowing, you know, they have multiple pen names. Not me. And I got that advice from one of my writing coaches, because I do plan in the near far 5 years, I don't know if you count that as near or far, but a historical fiction, possibly 3 books, but most likely 2-book series on female gladiators during the time of Spartacus and them joining the Spartacus Rebellion. So that's just straight up historical fiction. That's going to go under Nicole Pierman. But like I said in a few other videos, for urban fantasy, that's going to go fast. We're having a fun time. I have a lot of stuff planned out, and that could be 15 to 20 books under that just one pen name. So it would not make sense to mix them together, because then the poetry and historical books will just be pushed all the way down and you can't find them, and that I don't want that to happen, because I worked a lot. Okay, many years, many tears, caffeine, blood, sweat, more tears for those 7 books currently up on under Nicole Pierman, and then those the Female Gladiator books coming in about 5 years or so. Lots of work for those historical novels, as you can imagine, because you have to do all the research and more. So don't want them to be forgotten, don't want the algorithm to be very confused, and I don't want readers to be very confused. So we're splitting them. We're working on doing more with the website under About Nicole Fox. I have to do some stuff. Like, it's up there. You can see it. I did do and finish the automation for those 2 newsletters. I do have Nicole Pierman, Nicole Fox, both newsletters as an option. That automation on my website, y'all would be proud of me because I knew my limits. It took a full day and I was about to pull my hair out, but it needs to be done. And so I got help from the ad school, and the writing coach did it for me in like 25 minutes. Then we talked about some other stuff regarding the pen name, and it was fantastic. Worth the money, because now I have no stress about it. Now it's really just about writing, publishing, figuring out marketing strategy, all that stuff, you know, just having a fun time while also learning and going with the vibe and all that stuff. I think this is going to be a good balance between the more, I guess let's just go with the hardcore writing and researching, whereas urban fantasy, yes, I do think that art can be fun. I'm having a fantastic time, but I'm also making relevant points and talking about dark topics and how do you get through those dark topics, or how do you even bring them up. So I'm having a fun time weaving the darkness of just humanity into urban fantasy. It's just what your goal is, and that's going to be different for every single artist, but specifically every single writer. What is your goal? And I can't tell you what your goal is, and that's a journey that you have to take. That's a journey that I'm still taking. And we're just doing it one step at a time. But you're here with me. Yay! Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please comment with your thoughts below, or if you have questions for whenever I do this again, drop it in the comment section. Have a great day and do some self-care, because it's hard out there in the real world. Bye.